Hey everybody, welcome to the Outlet Podcast. My name's Gazy, host of the podcast, and you can listen to my podcast and other content. All you got to do is just check me out in the description below, and you'll see that I'm available on iTunes, Soundcloud, Stitcher Radio, and a number of different ways. My vlogs are kind of exclusive, but what I'm going to try to do is maybe go divide some vlogs and put some of the vlog content on my podcast and podcast to vlogs. What transferred very nicely was my acoustic sessions. So I'm not the best singer, but man, oh man, do I love singing some good songs. So you guys, this will be a third or fourth entry to a new series of episodes that I'm doing called Anime S'il vous plaît. So on Anime S'il vous plaît, what I want to do is just talk anime. And the last two episodes, I think I gave an introduction, talked about Evangelion. Man, what should I do? Okay, you know what? I'll do three different cons. So far, I want to say I've been to three conventions here, and I have I've been to three conventions, and I love them all. Now, I will give my critiques, but some stopped, some kept on going, but I'll just get into it. The first con I ever went to, my first convention, respectively, was MegaCon. MegaCon here in Central Florida. MegaCon is our biggest here in Central Florida. Some might say MetroCon over in Tampa, but I beg to differ. MegaCon's really awesome, really fun. They've recently extended it out to 4 days. It used to be just 3. So the first time I went to this convention, man, let me think back. First time I went to this convention, I didn't even know what to expect. It was my first convention. I remember walking up and down the aisles, so much swag everywhere. Everybody, the vendors, lobby, that was amazing. It was amazing. People selling swords, back then, selling swords with no problem. These days, now there's a problem for safety and whatnot, but man, keyblades everywhere. MegaCon was awesome. Tons of I didn't think you can meet voice actors. I didn't even know before conventions. I had no idea who Vic Mignogna was. Vic Mignogna. I had no idea. Or Colleen Clickenbeard, or Caitlin Glass, Todd Haber, big anime, big convention, big voice actors. Spike Spencer, one of my favorites, because he does Shinji from Evangelion. One of my favorite, Johnny Young Bosch. I did not know that he was the Black Ranger. I knew him once I started doing conventions and going. I found out that he was the Black Ranger. That was amazing. That was awesome. So yeah, you guys, MegaCon was my first convention. Very big, and very intimidating. For some people, it was so natural. It was so natural, going, and I was so out of my element. But now, to be honest, I'm just all in to go. Let's do it. I didn't go with friends. I went by myself, and I didn't even know how I think I went. I don't even know who I went with. Wow, it was that long ago. Ever since my first time going to convention, see the dealer room, Artist Alley, the gamer rooms, the rave. I didn't really even go to the rave. They had a dance, a masquerade. I went to the masquerade, and not that much ballroom dancing. I guess people want to they want kids to kind of dress up and go and be, have a fancy night, but there was no, fanciness, and I was like, it stinks. I was looking forward to a maid cafe because I heard so much about them. There's no maid cafe. Like, if I go to a maid cafe, I want actual good. Either you make me a banging espresso or a very good tea. Not no Lipton tea bag. No. I want it brewed, properly served. I'm a stickler for teas. Right here, I got my nice TNT. This is, they call it the Waikiki Spirit. Located in Winter Park, Florida. They're awesome. So, yeah, MegaCon was my first convention. Ever since then, they started to change. They started drawing. They wanted the more, they wanted the old money. They wanted your William Shatner fans. They wanted your Star Wars fans going. A lot of these old geek, not even geek, old nerd TV sitcoms and movies and stuff. They wanted them. And for a long time, they neglected anime fans for a very long time. They went comic book heavy, which, I for the past, over 3 years or so, now I've been collecting comics, doing a pretty good job at, and I got a really nice collection. But, yeah, I wasn't too crazy about conventions. And ever since the lineups have been way too heavy, comic book wise, and old money nerd stuff like Battlestar Galactica, I was like, bump it, I'm out. They're not catering to the group I'm in anymore. So, but recently, some more current event news. They are having a lot of Full Metal Alchemist voice actors. Vic Mignogna is going to be there. I'm really excited for that. The Sean, I forget his last name, but the voice of Goku, he's going to be there. I'm really excited to see. Maybe he can sign. I don't know what he can sign, but I'll ask him to sign something. I wonder what they will do. I wonder if I have to pay anything to have them do a voice spot for the podcast. That would be pretty fun. Really, really, really cool. Nerding out right now. And some other real cool. They have some other real cool stars for MegaCon this year, and I'm really excited to go. Really excited to go to MegaCon this year. I don't know if I'm gonna cosplay, but we'll see. MegaCon was my first, gender swap. Now, I recently did a video here on the Anime S'il vous plaît, and it was titled Crossplay. Now, I'm so unfamiliar with the advancement of culture, I guess you can say, that I'm not aware of current terminology. I don't know, as far as I've gone was, learning more about hikikomores and, that's as far as I've gone. But I did a video about a gender swap that I did. And I think my friend, he puts this he puts a Facebook weird name. It's not his real name, so I'm like, dang it. But he properly told me what the term was. So it's not that I did a crossplay. I did a gender swap, and I gender swapped Sakura from Naruto on the Shippuden version, and that was at MegaCon, and that was amazing. Wow. I got paddled with a yaoi paddle. The ladies liked my cross. When I was single, the ladies liked the the gender swap, and they really liked it. And I got paddled. That was pretty sweet. Yeah. So, a lot of pictures, tons of pictures. It was really fun. And apart from that, the last time I went with my wife. My wife and I went twice. One by myself and one with my wife, and I saw my cousin there. So what all happened was that we went, me and my wife, Tommy, the Green Ranger, Jason David Frank, he was there. I didn't get to see him because I didn't have the money to pay to say hey, but I did wear a Green Ranger shirt, and my wife wore the Pink Ranger shirt. So we walked around like couple wise. It was very funny. We got out of our car, right? The first person I see, my ex-girlfriend. Awkward. Very awkward. The first person I saw was my ex-girlfriend. But I'm like, whatever. I'm like swagging. Me and my wife we're doing the cute couple thing. All of a sudden, we're walking down the street was carpeted with the shadows of the tree limbs that were hanging over the street. Very populated area. International Drive is here down in Central Florida. Full of restaurants, full of movement, tourists going everywhere. But remember, this isn't your Disney that we're talking about. Very carpeted with tree limbs hanging over the streets. Very cool, very breezy. Just a lot of, it's the grass, pure green. You got resorts everywhere, to your left and to your right. Hotel resorts, all just lining up with a cavalcade of mixtures of restaurants. A beautiful place for a convention center, which it was there. And as we were walking, I looked up ahead, and all of a sudden I see a fully cosplayed out Green Ranger and Pink Ranger. Fully cosplayed out to the T. C'est magnifique. C'est magnifique. And they were on point. Yeah, I loved it. And me and my wife, we kind of felt cheese. My wife doesn't watch Power Rangers. She never watched Power Rangers. I did though. And she wanted to go along with it because I was like going along with it. So that was funny. And my wife brought up my spirits. She was like, we look cuter. And I was like, yeah. So that was my last, that's what the last things that I did at the convention. So I'm looking forward to this year, going with some friends, definitely cosplaying. I need to figure out what or how. Definitely cosplaying. What else should I do? Probably doing some on-site interviews with them, all at MegaCon. So if you're there, if you're watching this, if you're there, let me know. Hit me up in the comments below. If you're gonna travel, this is a convention worth traveling to. It's worth the money. If you're local, if you're Florida local, or if you are out of state, this is one of our premier conventions. So I implore you, if you are a con goer, hit this one up. It's really good. Apart from that, hit me up in the comments below, and I will continue sharing all of my anime, Japanese otaku experiences here on Anime S'il vous plaît for the Outlet Podcast Vlogs. Connect, recharge.